What's going on, guys? Unknown Player here, and today we've got a bunch of awesome stuff to talk about. Some news about things coming soon. We'll be looking at absolutely all of the Iron Banner loot rewards, their perks, which ones are good or not, and what they do. Also, some of Bungie's updates they're working on soon for the game, and even more news coming from Bungie. So a lot to go through in this video. So let's begin with those Iron Banner rewards. So they're now public inside the database and Bungie.net, so you can look them up. And we have all the weapons, armor, shaders, all that stuff. And I wanted to quickly go over their perks and which ones I think will be good or not, because there's definitely some interesting stuff for sure. So beginning with the pulse rifle, the time-worn Spire, and yes, pretty much all these weapons are reskins more or less. I mean, we kind of already knew that by the sidearm and grenade launcher, but most of these weapons, if not all, are kind of themed off other guns, just colored differently, and also with that gold Iron Banner badge. So you can see this is the Nightshade pretty much, but it's called the time-worn Spire. So unlike the Nightshade, this one is actually in the rapid fire archetypes. This thing is going to fire really quickly. You got tactical mag for increased stability, reload speed, and mag size, or accurized rounds for increased range. And the final perk is Zen Moment, which is okay, not too bad. Maybe it'll feel really good inside the game. So next up is the scout rifle, the guiding sight, and honestly this thing looks pretty bad. I don't think this is going to be a very good one, definitely not a highlight, but this is the high impact archetype, which as we know isn't the greatest right now in Destiny 2. So the perks for this one are tactical mag, which is pretty decent, and armor piercing rounds, and the final one is pulse monitor. Auto reloads are past the magazine when the wielder is critically wounded. Now the reason I say this isn't that good is because the does not compute, which is the red scout rifle from Crucible. That is the same archetype, and that's pretty much better than this thing in every single way. It's got basically the same stats, but it has steady rounds for a ton more stability and moving targets to increase movement speed and target acquisition when aiming down sight. So honestly, this guiding sight doesn't seem too great. I think the does not compute is way better. But moving on to the next one, the forward path. This is the auto rifle, getting back on track to being slightly decent weapons again. This one, again, not the greatest because it is the adaptive archetype. And as we know, the best auto rifles in Destiny 2 are the precision archetype. You've got armor piercing rounds and extended mag, and the final one is tap the trigger. So it seems okay, not the best archetype, but it seems like a decent weapon. Now, the hand cannon, unfortunately, is also not going to be the greatest. This one is, again, in the high-impact archetype. I don't really get why most of these weapons are in the worst archetypes of their own guns, because they're just not going to perform that greatly in Crucible. But regardless of the archetype, this one does seem to be pretty strong in terms of perks. You've got Flared Magwell or Alloy Magazine for both really good reloads, and also Outlaw for even faster reloads. So this thing is going to reload super quickly, and the perks do look really interesting. And I honestly feel like this weapon could be very good in PvE instead of Crucible, because it does have that super fast reload and is going to hit like a truck. So who knows, this weapon could be something very good for strikes and raids. Now the next one is the Fool's Remedy. This is the sidearm. This one is in the Cerus Rapid Fire archetype. You've got ricochet rounds, accurized rounds, and moving target, increased movement speed and target acquisition when aiming down sights and moving. So the submachine gun is called the Hero's Burden, and this one is in the adaptive archetype. We have high caliber rounds looking pretty good, drop mag and threat detector, increased reload stability and handling when enemies are in close proximity. There's also the fusion rifle, the Wizened Rebuke, and this one again is in the high impact archetype. Let me know down below in the comment section if this is actually good for fusions. I personally love the precision archetype of fusions, but maybe you guys can let me know if the high impact ones, I've never tried them before. But this one has liquid coils, enhanced battery, and backup plan for reduced charge time, increased handling for a short time after swapping. And now saving the best for last, we have the grenade launcher, the Days Fury. I mean, not much to say about this. It's a grenade launcher, so that's your answer. We have mini frags, spike grenades, and snapshot sights. But there you go, those are the weapons we can see so far. Obviously, there are a couple missing power weapons in there, the sniper, rocket launcher, linear fusion, and even a sword. But I don't think those exist. They would be in the database if they did. So I don't think there is an Iron Banner sword, rocket, sniper, or linear fusion. That doesn't seem to be the case. Now, as well as that, there is also two shaders. We can see the Iron Wolf one, which appears to be mainly brown and gold, and the Iron Battalion, which was seen before on all the armor sets. This is what actually comes by default on all the armor sets. It's gold, brown, also a bit of green there too. So this is a very nice looking shader. And for once, the Iron Banner shaders seem to be some of the best in the game. So really impressed by that stuff. So you can also see that Lord Saladin was added to the game as a vendor. It says that Lord Saladin, the last surviving Iron Lord, oversees the Iron Banner event, trial by combat where only the strongest survive. So there is also, of course, the armor pieces, which were seen before, but these are the items individually. You can see the Iron Truage Cask for the Hunter, the Helm for the Titan, and the Hood for the Warlock. Very, very nice looking armor pieces. So, of course, let me know your thoughts on the Iron Banner gear down below in the comment section, what you think of it. I mean, I personally think the weapons are super disappointing, but the armor pieces look very, very cool. I mean, it's kind of weird how the armor is not reskinned at all. It's completely unique and kind of individual sets, but the weapons seem to be reskins of already existing good weapons, but in the wrong archetype. So the auto rifle is the origin story, but in the wrong archetype. The pulse rifle is the nightshade, the wrong archetype. The scout rifle is the same as does not compute, but worse than it. And the fusion rifle is the main ingredient, but again in the wrong archetype. So it seems to be just very misplaced. I mean, maybe some of them could be decent. I think the pulse rifle could be okay, and the hand cannon as well. That's the main one I think is going to be decent, especially in PvE, because this one's going to have outlaw and also a ton of reload perks. So I'm actually really looking forward to this hand cannon. I think it's going to be pretty decent, and the pulse rifle looks okay as well. I mean, definitely not the worst weapons in the world. Obviously, they're still decent guns, but compared to some of the others, like I said, the origin story, Nightshade does not compute, Better Devils, they seem to be kind of outclassed in the perk department. But of course, let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. So moving on to the next topic, something very, very exciting, I'm sure a lot of you guys will be happy about, is that Shores of Time from Destiny 1 is making a return into Destiny 2, and they've reimagined the map and are going to be bringing it in with Iron Banner. So it's now going to be permanently in the rotation, and we're going to be able to play on the classic Shores of Time. I personally am super excited about this. It was definitely one of my all-time favorite maps, if not the favorite map, so I really love the idea. And of course it was on Venus, but now it's going to be on Nessus, so it's been kind of remade to be on a different planet. But I guess the lore is that because it's the Vex, they kind of remade it on Nessus this time. So of course you can see the screenshots of what the map is going to look like, and it's pretty much the same as Shores of Time, just skinned differently for Nessus, and obviously updated with Destiny 2 textures. Now, seeing this map come back makes me instantly think that in the Curse of Osiris DLC, we're probably going to see Burning Shrine make a return, or added later for free. I mean, it's relatively easy content, it's not as much work as making a completely new map from scratch, plus everyone loves Burning Shrine. I mean, it's a fan favorite map, and it's also perfectly sized for 4v4, so I'm 100% betting we see Curse of Osiris feature Burning Shrine, especially seeing as we are returning to Mercury. I think it makes so much sense. But I do love the fact they're dropping these as surprises on us. I mean, more than a month after the game is out, not a single person knew about this or predicted it. Nothing about this map was spotted in the database, or they didn't tease it, and it proves that Bungie still does have a lot of hidden things that we can't see and tricks up their sleeves. So of course, let me know what you think of this map coming back. I mean, I personally have absolutely zero negative things to say about Shores of Time returning. It's a familiar map. It's just nice to play on something that has nostalgia. I mean, I remember playing this back in the first time in the beta in 2014, so 3 years ago. So as much as the PvE content and loot systems does not need reskins, we have enough of that, I'm more than okay with some of the best Crucible maps returning. So again, let me know what you guys think of this. And also comment down below, if you could bring back one Crucible map from Destiny 1, which one would it be? I think I'd quite like to see Rusted Lands, another nostalgic one, or Bannerfall as well. But I'm fairly certain Shores of Time won't be the only remake we see in Destiny 2. So the next topic is some updates from Bungie on what's been happening with the game and going to be happening very soon. So as it turns out, some pretty strange news. The Leviathan raid in Prestige mode has been delayed or postponed until next Wednesday, the 18th. So this is basically because of a glitch that lets you cheese the entire boss fight, and obviously it ruins the raid. So this would be very kind of strange for people going for worlds first, and of course there'll be a ton of people abusing this glitch that would get there before them. So it kind of makes things a little bit more complicated, and the raid in Prestige mode has been delayed until next Wednesday. Of course, Iron Banner is still going to go on as normal, but the raid is going to be kind of spread out, which is actually a good thing. I don't really like the idea of both Iron Banner and the raid going live on the same day, but now content is a bit more spread out. Now, obviously, the reason it's going to be next Wednesday instead of Tuesday is because the update is going to be on the Tuesday the day before, and they're going to drop it, make sure it's still not broken, because obviously they can't just drop the raid and the update at the same time, because then you never know if it's been fixed or not. So they're going to drop the update next Tuesday on the 17th, and then hopefully if it's still been fixed and nothing else emerges, the next day on the 18th, the raid will go live, and that is when the Prestige mode will be first available to everyone. So as well as that, Bungie also posted some things they're currently working on. We're not sure exactly how many of these are going to be their next update on Tuesday, but some of them they're still fixing. These are the Ps4 crashes they're working on with Sony. There's also the raid keys being taken away, which they've identified the issue of, but they're still fixing. So that should be hopefully in the next update on Tuesday. There's also an issue where Callus can sometimes be immune during the final damage phase. There's also, of course, the Cade 6 treasure chests, which are unintentionally being affected by the chest lockout. There are some cabbage error codes, the black screens when you load it into the tower and you get stuck there for ages, and also the already added to collection bug, which they're trying to figure out as well. So I'm sure not all of these are going to make it into next Tuesday's update, but these are things they're working on for future updates nonetheless. I'm sure they're prioritizing on that big game-breaking raid bug. So of course, Iron Banner is going to be live for the entire week. It's going to be really nice to have a control-only playlist, and of course go on Shores of Time again. You can simply earn tokens and trade them with Saladin for loot, so it's been simplified, and I'm going to have a bunch more videos this week showing off my loot and my thoughts on the weapons, and of course, I'll let you guys know if we get more info about those updates on the way to this game. But if you enjoyed this video and want to help support the channel, then you can leave a like rating down below. It'll be much appreciated. Comment down below your thoughts on the Iron Banner loot rewards and Shores of Time making a comeback. If you want to watch another video I made talking about some very interesting Vex DLC area and some cool stuff, you can click the image on screen right now. But as always, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.